Greetings, beloved friends and royal colleagues, distinguished contributors. We often call you our beloved children, but tonight we would rather refer to you as our esteemed colleagues, our royal partners, those who sit with us in the halls of justice, those who are such an integral part of the wheels of love that move this very universe in its beautiful myriad ways. So many of you have been agents of change and infinite possibility, not only in this lifetime, but in other lifetimes, not only on this planet, but on many other planets, not only in this modality, but in many other modalities, not only in this dimension, but in all other dimensions. Sometimes it is very useful for us to remember that you are our royal colleagues, to remember what it means that consciousness is essentially a royal expression, an expression of royalty in which everyone wears a crown, in which there is no hierarchy, in which that beautiful sense of dignity and royalty from the very beginning of time, imprinted upon the heartbeat of consciousness, imprinted upon the soul of humanity, comes to light. And so here we are. We sit with you, royal beings, as if we were sitting with you around a round table. Each of you has a beautiful chair. Each of you has plenty of space for all of your royal light to shine. What do we mean by royalty? When we speak of royalty, we speak of that which you are born with, that which you came into being with, not only in this lifetime, but at the very, very beginning of what you call time, that which you were impregnated with, that which is your birthright, that which you are here to serve and to express, this royalty of being. A royal being understands that they are large enough and tall enough and grand and gracious enough to be able to serve one another without their well going dry. A royal being knows how right it is to take breaks, to rest in the shade of an oak tree where we may be entertained by angels. A royal being takes time for herself and gazes in the depth and listens without wanting anything. These are some of the hallmarks of royalty. A royal being does not need to announce him or herself. They simply are in the full majesty of their being. You, my dear, precious friends, the dear collective that we are, you are all royal, as is every least twig and every smallest dust mote and every grain of sand and every trembling leaf and every water molecule. There is not one aspect of this universe that does not shimmer and shine with this indwelling royalty, this beautiful, rightful privilege, this beautiful divine inheritance. We all received our royalty at the very beginning when we joined our consciousness and formed a group mind and said, let us make man or humanity in our image. We spoke as royalty speaks, let us. We referred to ourselves in the third person, in the royal person. This was right and proper. For as we created everything here upon this planet, we created with a desire to see more and more of our royal selves. Let us create trees and rocks and rivers. Let us create animals of all kinds. Let us bring materialization to the light and light to materialization. Let us do this. Let us do this for the sake of the love that we are. It is a time, dear ones, to consider the royalty of your being, to consider that no one and no thing can ever rob you of your divine royalty, your beautiful authority over every corner of your being. And now, having spoken all these words and brought the precious seeds in upon this table of consciousness, we, Serena, will withdraw as our first guest speaker has approached and is asking that we step aside so that he may speak. And so we do, so that our beloved Master Teacher Emmanuel may come forward, and we withdraw. Please give Master Teacher Emmanuel your royal attention. Oh, beloveds, dear ones, oh, how you shine. I am so delighted to be in your royal presence. I remember the very first time I was told that I was a royal visitor. And a part of me said, oh, no, I don't want to be royal. I don't want to be royal. Just let me be a humble human being. And then it was explained to me, oh, my dear son, don't you understand? If you don't accept the royalty of your being, if you don't allow that into every corner of your consciousness, then other people around you will not be able to accept it in their consciousness as well. It is imperative, you see, my dear ones, that all beings claim the crown of authority, of dominion over consciousness. For this is the definition I will bring in of royalty: to have dominion over your consciousness, to say, I say, let there be light. To have that feel like a beautiful royal command. I say, love is what lasts. I say, love rules. I say, love triumphs. To be able to speak these words, to stand up in the marketplace, to shout them from the hilltops, to roll down the windows of your automobiles and sing them as you're careening down the highway. Yes, 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 this is what it means to be a royal being, and bringing that message of royalty to yourself and to all around you. Many, many years ago, this channel was told by a dear friend of hers that he had seen her throne, that he had been in meditation and he had been shown a circle of thrones, and he had seen this channel's throne, and he wanted her to know about it. And her reaction was just as mine was. I don't want a throne. I don't want to be royal. No. Let me hide in my humanness. Let me cloak myself. I don't want to show up that tall, that grand, with that much authority. What will it mean if I claim that throne? But you know, my beloved ones, over time, she came to see that royalty is the essence of her being, just as she understands it is the essence of your being. Crown him with many crowns is a song that we have heard sung for the beloved master teacher Yeshua, isn't it? Crown him with many crowns. Crown you with many crowns is what I say. Crown her with many crowns. Crown us with many crowns. What is that crown? It is the beautiful connection, the golden alchemy of crown consciousness. Think of your own beautiful crown chakra. And now think of it with that beautiful color gold, the color of alchemy, the color of transmutation, the color of forward movement. Think of this as you use your crown consciousness to inform everything that is around you, to bring cool where cool appears not to be, to bring love where love appears not to be, light where darkness seems to be, to do all of this with this beautiful imperial royal authority. Crown you, crown us with many crowns. Isn't it delightful to feel that we are all royal, that there is not one single aspect of this universe that does not share in this universal dignity, which is why, my precious beloved ones, when I see you in a race for freedom, my heart aches. I don't want you to reach for freedom. I want you to claim it. I don't want you to ache for freedom. I want you to be it. I want you to dwell in it and offer it to yourself and offer it to those around you. Be not afraid of your royalty, for you are good kings, good queens. You are blessed, blessed leaders, each and every one of you. Be not afraid of the love that you are. Tolerate this loving authority that you bring to the table. Tolerate it, my dear ones. Learn to love yourself. Crown you with many, many crowns. Thank you for listening to me. I know I get sometimes very passionate, don't I? Oh, it's because it matters to me so deeply. It just matters to me. I was once human, you know. I traveled in the realm of human consciousness. I know how difficult it can be. But I also was able to find my royalty. by listening to my advisors and listening to my teachers and finally surrendering and saying, oh, all right, I agree, I am divine. All right, I remember, I surrender. And as I surrendered, irony of irony, I felt my beautiful crown, which now sits upon my head, the same way yours sits upon yours. Beloveds, I know that there is somebody else here who is asking so politely and so sweetly, may I please come in? I'm going to withdraw and allow our dear Master Teacher Yeshua to step forward. I withdraw. Isn't he delightful? Greetings, my dear, sweet friends. You know, I love my dear, dear brother. I just love Emmanuel. He's been a brother of mine for so long. I can't hardly remember when we met. I really can't even begin to remember that. It was somewhere far, far away in another galaxy, I suppose. What I do know is that we have been working together as a cooperative for eons. And I have come to love his passion and not be afraid of it. It was my brother Emmanuel who talked to me when I was in the desert and asked me not to forget that I was also royal. It was my brother Emmanuel who escorted me in a vision so that I could feel and know Moses and Elijah right next to me. And Moses and Elijah also spoke to me and reminded me that I was royal just as they are royal. You call that the transfiguration, yes? I call it the removal of my cloak and the revelation of my true identity. That's what's happening for all of you, dear ones. The transfiguration belongs to all of us. It is all of us that transfigure. But do you notice something, dear ones? The transfiguration does not happen as a solo act. It happens in conjunction, in harmony, in community with other souls, in resonance with other souls. As one soul transfigures, other souls transfigures. It is a contagious act. And so you see, your transfiguration, the revelation that you experience of your own divinity, this is something that happens in community, doesn't it? Today, I tell you, you will be with me in heaven. It can happen as we are dying. It can happen as we are experiencing deep, horrendous pain. Transfiguration is a communal act. I wanted to thank you all for the way in which you regard me and the way in which you continually allow me to be myself, to evolve just as you are evolving. And as you continue to allow me to be myself, to evolve as you are evolving, I'd like to bring in a teaching, if I may, since you are familiar with me in that role as master teacher. May I bring in another teaching? This particular, oh, thank you. You did say yes. Yes, thank you. I heard that. This particular teaching has to do with fire and has to do with Gehenna and hellfire. As this one was walking along with her morning walk, with her sweet dog Pisces, I began to whisper in her ear about the true meaning of fire, the true meaning of the alchemy of fire, and the true meaning of hellfire. And she listened as I explained. Hellfire is not hell. It is simply a purification. the fire that is spoken of and referred to in what you call your gospels and what you call your holy scriptures, the fire of hell that is referred to there in sacred text is not hellish at all. It is actually a cleansing, an alchemizing, a clearing of the way, a blessing. You know what happens on your planet when there is a natural fire and how it gives the land the opportunity to come back to itself, to create new growth, to allow new insects to come in, to bring a blessing of fertility to the ground. Well, my beloveds, this is what fire does for us, all of us, spiritually. We all of us, pass through fire from time to time. Sometimes I hear you call it a baptism of fire. Yes, a sense of being transfigured by the alchemizing quality of fire. Sometimes I like to think of it as nothing more than rapid transformation, rapid change. This is the meaning of fire. It is an unfortunate thing that in many of your so-called Christian churches, fire or hellfire is described as a kind of punishment, and nothing could be farther from the truth. What is being described as hellfire or punishment? Oh, my dear beloveds, they've missed the mark on that one. First of all, there is no hellfire. Second of all, what fire there is the fire of alchemy, a fire that transforms, that lifts, that brings gold up from the very bottom of your being, up into your crown chakra, and allows you to be a fountain of expressive divinity. That's the real meaning of fire, not a punishment, a blessing. So the next time somebody says, go to hell to you, I want you to say, gladly, I cannot wait to be transformed. I cannot wait to be alchemized. And then, just to get things going, why don't you think about how you can ignite a fire in you right now? How you can alchemize yourself to be more of your royal self right now. Now, beloveds, I know this conversation about fire is difficult for some of you, because for some of you, it is very hot. And I don't mean to be glib. I don't mean to miss that irony. And so let me bring you now to a cooling place, a place that sometimes we refer to as the water of Shiloh, a beautiful, cooling, restful place. Now that you have listened to the fiery alchemists in you give testament to all that is changing in you, all that is transmuted, all that is being healed, all that is being lifted. Come now. Bring yourselves to the healing and cooling water of Shiloh. It is my job, my task, my opportunity to now withdraw so that another beloved one, a dear one, may continue with tonight's channeling. Let me step aside so that my dear sister Kuan Yin may continue. Thank you, my brother Jesus. This is the energy you call Kuan Yin. I have many other names, of course. I am called Blessed Mother Mary Sophia. I am called Shekinah. I am called Oshun. There are many names for me. The divine feminine, the resting place, the quality of yin. For now, we will use the name Kuan Yin. My dear ones, in the past few moments, you have allowed yourselves to be consumed by the flames of beautiful purification. You have allowed yourselves to be transformed and transfigured. You have allowed yourselves to alchemize yourself. You have brought yourself up to the mountain for your transfiguration. All of this you have experienced, and now it is time to rest in the pool of what my brother Yeshua has called Shiloh. My beloveds, at the top of a mountain in the Himalayas, there is a place called Shambhala. For some, it is a mystical retreat. For some, mythical. For some, it is a fourth dimensional place. For some, it exists on the third dimension. For us, for tonight, let's know that it is a place that exists for us on the etheric plane, Shambhala. Here on this beautiful flat mountaintop, a cooling mist envelops all. And we are drawn, each and every one of us, to a healing pool, which my sweet brother Yeshua has called Shiloh. A healing pool before us, upon which are dancing many prisms of light, many beautiful rectangles and triangles and circles, many beautiful patterns of sacred geometry, which mingle with this beautiful pool of becoming, this beautiful pool in which we refresh ourselves. For each of you, there are steps that lead into the pool. For each of you, there are beautiful golden handrails, if you choose, that you can use to guide yourself into the pool. For each of you, there is a knowing of when you have submerged enough for your comfort. I am floating in the middle of this pool of radiant truth, this pool of alchemy, this pool of loving trust, this healing pool of Shiloh, this pool where sacred geometry meets you and claims you as a living, vibrating aspect of all that is sacred. You are sacred geometry. You are the golden mean. You are the Fibonacci sequence. You are the power of the rectangle and the triangle and the circle and the square. You are all of these energies, and you are moving into your pool now and holding the golden railings and being supported by the knowing that nothing can separate you from the essence that is this healing pool. As you allow yourself to move deeper into this cooling pool, so deep that you are able to sit upon one of these stairs with your arms gracefully floating on top of the water, you feel a delightful coolness tickling your toes and your calves, your knees, your thighs, your torso. Every limb in your body, even the hairs upon your head, feel this cooling momentum. And you allow the rigidity of your physical body and your persona to give way to the remembrance that when you began as a prism of light, a beautiful vision of sacred geometry, a beautiful Fibonacci sequence, a beautiful spiral, a triangle, a circle, a square. a rectangle. The essence of you feeling into this beautiful curve of the Fibonacci you are, remembering this, that when you were being formed as a tiny embryo, you formed as a spiral. When the canals of your ears were being formed, they were formed as spirals. You remember how deeply and truly aligned you are with this sacred geometry. You allow yourself to be this and to know that you are blessedly cool and blessedly supported and blessedly taken care of and allowed to be on retreat, a deep retreat for all of our beautiful light workers who so passionately display their transfiguration now. Now you rest. Now you trust that you are transfigured. There is no work to do. There is simply the exhale of being and remembering the sacred pattern you are. As you remember the sacred pattern that you are aware of the many beautiful beloved ones that arrive at the side of your pool. They all are carrying candles, candles of remembrance, candles of truth. And you will be handed a candle right now. Take hold of this candle. It is a remembrance that you can contain your inner flame, that you can be at peaceful rest with the fire of your being. For you are now water, cooling water, enclosing a sacred flame. You are water and you are fire, and you are oxygen, and you are metal. You are all the elements of the element table. And you are yourself. And as you hold your flame, I invite you to look deeply into the flame of your becoming and ask in a very kind and gentle whisper, what is it I am becoming now? What truth am I revealing now? What is it that I have allowed to be burned away so that I may be more fully my truth? These beloved and dear beings who have brought the candles in for you are aspects of your earthly selves. They are parts of your personality, so fulfilled with divine memory that they will speak for you. They will come into your aid. These beautiful aspects of your earth personality, they will remind you, you are in charge of your alchemy. You are in charge of your process. You are royal. Blessed and dear ones, I take great peace, great solace when I watch your faces relax into the knowing that not only are you kindly, compassionately observed, you are the very essence of kind and compassionate observation. As you are observed, kindly know you are the ones who observe with kindness. This is part of your royal heritage. Bless you, dear ones. And this is your group Souls Arena. We are delighted and blessed by our beautiful teachers this evening, beautiful, masterful energies with their wondrous lessons, their speakings of truth, of our royalty, of the knowing that as we look at our divinity, we look face to face and we see all. We know, as you know, that the world in which you live and walk is, as this channel described it recently, a wobbly world, a wiggly world, a world that is constantly changing, a world that appears as though it has been set on fire, a world that looks as though it has gone to hell. But as you know now, dear ones, your world has not gone to hell. Your world is in a purification process. This fire is meant to purify, to alchemize, to uplift, to recreate, to make straight, to cause water in the desert, to bring the mountains flat and to bring the flat up high. This is a beautiful, blessed time of rearrangement and of alchemy for one and all. And none of you, we promise, none of you, none of us are in hell. And all of us are in a blossoming, blooming, alchemizing heaven. This is the truth. Power to these statements. Amen. Bless you, beloved ones. Return now to the knowing that your bodies are blossoming with heaven's interpretation of what it means to be a human being on planet Earth. Remember that your personalities are blossoming with heaven's interpretation of what it means to have a human personality. Be blessed in the knowing that the light you are alchemizes you from the inside out. And you are always and forever deeply, deeply blessed. Return now, dear beloved ones. We love you. Namaste.